My name is Renise Walker. I get to serve as the Assistant Director for Systems Innovation at the Colorado Workforce Development Council. So I think a lot about what can we do to make life better for Coloradans, specifically in the workforce space. And so as my role within the council itself is part of our state government. And it's a group that's been appointed by our governor. It's a public-private partnership of leaders that come from businesses, education, workforce development, economic development. And they're all tasked with coming together to think about how they can best advise, oversee, and integrate the work of talent development in our state. And so as we think about this from the council lens, a couple of things that I would lift up and why job quality is so important to us. One, we believe in a Colorado for all. Colorado is a state that is fortunate to have a pretty strong economy when you think about what's happening overall, but we know that not all demographics in our state fare equally well within our economy. And we think it's behooves us. It best serves the state, it best serves our local communities to really think about what we can do better so that everyone in the state can thrive and contribute to the quality of life that we have. And in that context, continuing to have a strong economy, continuing to be a place where people can really strive, it requires that people are connected to opportunity and that they are able to contribute in ways. But creating that opportunity requires that there are strong businesses to make it up. And so especially as we think of this through a workforce lens, we spend a lot of time thinking about how do we get individuals trained? How do we make them more aware of the jobs that exist in the state? But I think that it's incumbent on us to also think about the other side of that equation, not just what's happening with individuals, but what's the context that they're going into? What are the available jobs? How are they finding their way into those jobs? And are the jobs really supporting their needs overall as individuals and helping to balance the rest of the needs of life? And so we really started the job quality conversation. It was pre-pandemic, and we had a strong, thriving economy, but employers continued to come to us and say, we need help. Like, we can't find workers. We're struggling to fill our open positions. And so as we looked at what are the businesses doing that are attracting and retaining workers? What are the businesses doing that are really thriving? And we noticed that those businesses, there were some consistent themes across how they really invested in their people, how they thought about people not as just kind of a cost structure, but really how they thought about across the entire value stream, what they could do to better attract and retain those workers, how they could make sure that they were listening carefully to those workers and their ideas to make life better, and how they were offering safe environments. And so we had conversations with a number of our stakeholders throughout the state to ask them, when it comes to job quality, what do you think about? How do you define that? And what we learned is that job quality is very unique to each individual in each context. But there were a couple of key themes that were also consistent with how people were defining job quality nationally that we should lean into and that we should really focus on together. And so we published a job quality framework and defined job quality as kind of the characteristics of a job that meet the needs of an individual while also allowing the business to thrive, just out of recognition that this is an equation. And if you skew too far on either end of that equation, you really do give up either quality of life and well-being for individuals, which causes burnout, it causes stress, and undermines kind of the quality of your business. And the opposite of that is true as well. If you're only focused on what the business needs, if you're only focused on profitability, that will cause problems as well and lead to a lack of sustainability. And so we really look at this kind of from an intersectional lens and really do believe that we all have a role to play in making sure that the jobs in the state are quality and helping to connect people to them.